All right. Right after Texas, had the opportunity to go to Japan with Top1. Of course, I took the trip. It was unexpected. Obviously, it's a long flight. I didn't have a lot of time there, so what do? You watch the movies, you take the flight, and you go to Japan. So with dirty clothes packed, I arrived, and we started an amazing trip. Everything arrived, really cool airport, caught a quick shuttle bus, and was easily able to get to my hotel. Elevator up to the 10th floor, and I had what I would consider a pretty nice room and a decent view. I travel a lot. Um, it was fantastic. Arriving in Narita, arriving in Japan, it was really an easy experience. I'm definitely going to go back. So the view's nice. I arrived late. I didn't have a lot of time, so I got ready for the next morning where I hopped in this cool Alfred van, which I think we need in the US, and caught some quick sightseeing while we headed to our destination. That Statue of Liberty sized. Very cool architecture. We made our way to our destination. For me, it really was an amazing place to go. Out of all the videos I've seen, things I've wanted to do, the Tsukuba circuit is definitely an iconic Japanese track. On the entrance, a bunch of cool shops, cool cars, Corollas, Skylines, RX-7s, everything we dream about. And we made our way in. As we entered, it was not only a beautiful complex, but we had some beautiful cars to drive. Top1 Oil provided Skylines, Porsches, some very iconic vehicles. And we had a bunch of guests from around the world that we were going to give ride-alongs to. Me, Robbie Nishida, some other great drivers from Top1 all showed up just to really put on this event at Tsukuba Circuit, giving ride-alongs, hot laps, to, I think it was really for me, not just for the people that were there. But as you can see, we're setting up. Robbie's gramming. I've got the gram going. We've got a bunch of, basically enthusiastic people around that were ready to get into these awesome cars. The track itself, really cool. And, here I am, blah, 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 basically talking about how I'm in a right-hand drive Porsche. The audio didn't come out good, so I'm dubbing it over, but you get the idea. I smile, I hit the Tsukuba circuit, there's the Dunlop turn, and we're off and rolling. After the Dunlop bridge, you've got this short shoot into a little bit of a kink into a very steep banked right. And, drifting, we use a segment of the circuit, so that's the segment that I really, was familiar with. And I drove on a few simulators the Tsukuba circuit before I came out here and got to kind of play around with lines. This back straightaway seems like it could be very fast. And then as you arc into this long right-hand turn, it's actually a very, very flat and difficult turn. And one of the things I found unique about this circuit that surprised me was the actual starting grid starts in this turn. So, man, if you were doing road racing, you want to qualify at the front because nobody wants to start in the middle of a turn. Drifting wise, very specific segment. Road racing wise, seems like a pretty technical track. Even a little bit of an uphill climb as we break into turn 1, which then flattens out and comes back to a very late apex on the inside. So short track, very technical, and used for drifting and road racing. So it's always been a dream to get over here. Personally, running through this segment, I got to cut a couple drifts. I got to cut to, just come in with a little speed with those GTRs, those Porsches. It definitely gave me the sensation I was looking for, but unfortunately we didn't get to cut loose. So I've got plans. I'm gonna have to come back. I've got to do this again. But I'm so grateful that Top 1 gave me this experience to drive on a circuit that I've played in Gran Turismo, I've seen in drift videos, and I've dreamed about driving. And I even got to drive it in some cars that I've dreamed about driving in. Skylines, Porsches. That's pretty rad. Next time I gotta have an RX-7. So as we moved on, basically we did hot laps throughout the day. We rotated cars, GTRs, Skylines, Porsches. As the sun set, we did some photo shoots. We shook hands and generally had a really good time. It was hot. It was humid. But nobody seemed to care. And we had beautiful skies and a beautiful day. Even though I was a little jet lagged, and I think I wish I had a little more time to prepare for this, coming right out of a Formula D event. We had kind of a makeshift podium ceremony, really more so for the Top 1 enthusiasts, but I guess there was a little bit of bragging rights as well. I was happy I didn't get left off of that podium. That night we had a banquet. We had a whole presentation. Top 1, if you didn't know, is involved in motorsports around the world. They do record-breaking high-speed runs. Their oils are used by factory-backed motorcycle teams. Even professional drifters in the US use them, just like me. I think it's really one of those products that in the US, even though it's American made, we just haven't really heard about it yet. Fantastic family, fantastic oil, fantastic brand. I was pleased to be a part of it. As they did the presentation and the banquet took shape, I realized it was really more of a party. They brought in local Japanese, culture. There was many toasts, and by the time it was morning, all I realized is it was time to get on my way. I had a few hours to sightsee, enjoy some local culture, so I hopped a train. The first train was not my train, the second train was. It was luxurious. I made it. I ended up in Tokyo. It really wasn't that bad, and the train station I arrived at was even historical. So right in the heart of Tokyo, you've got this beautiful brick building amass all these massive structures with the moat that surrounded a little bit of the historical temple. Through the city, it was raining. We didn't get out a lot, but it was an amazing tour. And, when you park, you get your van, you get your ride back out of a vending machine. I've never seen anything like this. Personally, it was amazing. And not only was it amazing, it seemed like it was just a regular thing. And they even had hospitality, somebody that was ready to welcome you back to your vehicle. I had a limited amount of time, but we toured the city. We saw some specific spots. And one of those spots was the intersection. I don't know the name for this place, but it was a mass intersection. It's been on record covers, it's been in advertisements, and it was amazing, like a 5-way crossing. They shut down every direction for traffic and just let people cross. So if you're looking at all the umbrellas going across that road right there. Getting out of there, right back into windy, twisty roads, some amazing stuff, temples all around. And really, I had 2 days in total to see Japan while being a guest and brand ambassador of Top 1. And we sightsaw, We shopped. I grabbed some souvenirs for the family. And if anything, all this trip really made me do was realize I have to go back to Japan. I have to spend more time and not only drive more of the amazing tracks, but sightsee more. And just like that, I was flying back home to my family after not only an amazing Formula D event, but also an amazing trip. Thank you, Top 1. Um, really can't be grateful enough. Thank you for all the fans that watch the videos. And follow Kyle Mohan Racing. We've got more to come.